Is Midjourney's lack of features for exporting prompts driving you crazy? As my Midjourney image collection grew, I desperately needed a way to export all those brilliant prompts with images. So, I used ChatGPT Code Interpreter to generate code for exporting prompts into a CSV file like this. In this video, I'm going to explain the complete process. If you are not interested in the process, and only wants to try the solution, you can jump into step 2, link in description. This is the default interface of Midjourney account with all images. This is the only place where we can see the image prompts, apart from the Discord server. First, we have to check if the prompt is available within the HTML elements. So, I'm going to right-click and select Inspect option, to open Browser Console in Chrome. Inspect option is available in most web browsers. Let me highlight one image and find the HTML elements for that one. It looks like each image is inside a div element with the role, grid cell. Let's open the elements for the image, and see if we can find the prompt somewhere. Here, we have the img tag that displays the image. Let me zoom in, so that you can see the details clearly. Now, let's see the details inside image tag. First, we have Midjourney unique ID for the image, inside data job ID attribute. This ID can be used to regenerate the image, or view the image. Then, we have the image URL inside source attribute. Finally, we have the prompt in ALT attribute. These three are the necessary details we need, in order to export the prompts in a meaningful way. Next, we need a way to select certain images, and then only export the details of selected ones. Let me click the Enable Select Mode icon. Now, we can select images. Let's look for a way to separate selected images from the others. When we select an image, it adds a small tick icon. That's the change we have to find in order to grab the images. Here, you can see that icon is added using SVG element. Only the selected images will have this element. When we uncheck the image, this element gets removed. When we select the image again, it's added again. Let's copy this element. Right-click on the element, and choose Edit as HTML option. Then, select all the content and click Copy. Now, let's look at the things we have so far. We can access image source, job ID and prompt. We can also filter the selected images using SVG element. Now, we can use these details to create JavaScript code to extract prompts. I am going to use ChatGPT Code Interpreter for creating code to extract prompts. First, I'm going to start a new chat with Code Interpreter. Now, we have to copy complete HTML element of a single Midjourney image. Let me right-click and inspect one of the images. Now, let's enable select mode and pick one image. Let's inspect the selected image to find out the HTML. Let me resize the window to see the elements clearly. Here, we have the div element with role grid cell. Right-click on the element and choose Copy Element option under Copy menu. Now, paste the content to the ChatGPT conversation we started earlier. This is the complete HTML for single selected image in Midjourney. Now, we have to ask it to write code to scrap the necessary data. Here is my prompt. I want you to create JavaScript code for the following tasks. Consider the above HTML code of a single grid element. Now, we have to specify the tasks one by one. In the first step, we ask it to find the div elements with the role grid cell, which contains SVG element inside. These will be the images we select. I have used the complete code of SVG element we copied earlier. In the second step, we have to find the images that contain data job ID attribute we found earlier. We have to instruct ChatGPT to only do the selection for resulted images from step 1. In step 3, we need to ask ChatGPT to separate the three values for image using line breaks. In step 4, we ask to print the output to console. Now we are ready. Let's run the prompt and see if ChatGPT is able to produce working code. You don't have to worry about the code, if you are not familiar with coding. All we need to do is run the given code. Let's copy the code and see if it's working as expected. We have to switch to Midjourney account, and enable the select mode first. I am going to select 2 images for this test. Right-click and select Inspect to open Developer Tools. Then, select the Console tab. Now, paste the JavaScript code we copied earlier. Let's run the code by hitting Enter button. Now, we get 2 lines of responses for the 2 images we selected. Seems like the code is working. We have the job ID, image URL and the prompt for each image, separated by SEP tag. You may notice that images are in WebP format. I want to get the PNG images. Let's see how we can get the PNG version, using the given URL. Now, I am switching back to ChatGPT. Here, I am asking it to give me the PNG file using the WebP URL. I am giving it 2 examples with WebP and PNG URL of the same image. Then, I am also suggesting how it can be done by removing some parts from WebP URL. Let's run the prompt and see what we get. It's generating the complete code again for the updated requirement. Let's copy the code and try with Midjourney again. We have to follow the same process. Enable select mode, and then select few images. Then, open browser console and run the updated code. Now, we have URL for the PNG version. Let's copy one URL, and see if the PNG image is displaying in browser. It's working perfectly. Now, the code is ready to export our data. Now, I want to export job ID, URL and prompt to an Excel sheet. Since the prompts has commas, I am asking not to separate them to multiple columns when creating the file. Finally, I am asking to only use JavaScript, instead of additional libraries. Let's run the prompt and wait for the updated code. Now, we have the complete code. Let's copy again, and run it with Midjourney using same process. I am just clearing the console and running the code again. It was able to generate a CSV file called export.csv. Let's check if the data of selected images are displayed properly. I use OpenOffice. So it's open with OpenOffice Calc. If you have Excel as default, CSV file will be loaded with Excel. Here we have the data. Seems like it's working perfectly. We have 3 columns, and we have job ID, URL, and prompt for the images we selected. Now, I'm going to show you how to export selected images, along with the limitations. The complete JavaScript code is available in the description. Copy the code and go to your Midjourney account. Now, you have to enable select mode and choose few images. Then, right-click, and choose Inspect to open the browser console. Now, paste the JavaScript code to console and hit Enter. We got a new export.csv file downloaded to our PC. Let's open the file. As expected, we have the details of the 6 images we selected, including the prompts. So, you can use this method to download prompts of images. However, let me show you a limitation with this method. Let me refresh and start again, by enabling the select mode. I am selecting one image. Then, I am selecting another one after scrolling. Let me scroll again and select 2 more images. Now, I have selected 4 images and hence the file should have 4 records. Let me run the code again and see what happens. Surprisingly, we only have 2 records. These are the 2 images we selected last. The first 2 images are missing. Midjourney loads a set of images to the screen. When we scroll, it removes the images on screen, while loading the new images. So, we lose whatever images which are not visible within the screen. Now, I'm going to show you how to export images and prompts as bulk. Also, I'm going to show a workaround for the problem of missing images in last step. First, enable select mode as usual. Then, use the select all button to select all images. This will select all the images loaded by Midjourney on initial page load. So, we have 70 images selected. Let's run the code and see how many we get. Let me open the CSV file. We only have 23 records. This is because only 23 images are available in page when executing code. If you have hundreds of images, this will take a long time. Let's see how we can increase the number of images in our export file. First, let me clear the existing selection. Then, I'm going to use Zoom feature of browser to zoom out the screen. As I zoom out, image size gets smaller. However, more images gets loaded into the screen. Now, zoom level is at 33%. Now, we can select all images again and run the code. This time we have 280 images. Let's see what happens. Now, the file is ready. This time, we have 142 images. Still, we don't get all images. But, we get more images by zooming out. Here, our browser console takes almost half of the screen. So, it's reducing the number of images we can see at once. Let's use undock into separate window option. This will load the console in different window. Now, we can see more images at once. Let's reduce the size to 25% to load the maximum number of images. Now, select all the images. This time, we have 455 images. Now, I'm going to run the code again and see how many we get. Now, we have 431 images. We get more images when removing the browser console. In order to download more images, we have to scroll down a bit. Then, select all images again and execute the code. Now, we get another CSV file with the new images we selected. This file could contain some of the previously exported images, depending on scrolling. I had around 4,000 images. By using this process, I was able to create 10 CSV files with all my images. Then, I used ChatGPT to remove duplicate entries and create a single file. This is just a simple method I use to export all my prompts. Next, I am planning to use this file and create HTML page that displays images with prompts. That's it for today. Hope you find this solution useful, until Midjourney provides a feature to export prompts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and like this video to see more AI-related videos.